What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, the 31st, 2020. So glad. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, March the 31st, 2026. I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad you could be here. Man, I know you could have been anywhere in this world today. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me. And I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As we got Dee is in the building. What's going on, Dee from Jersey? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sister-in-law, welcome. Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, we have an action-packed show today. But before I start the show, I'd like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transitions and beyond. So this is what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. And I also shout you out when you come on too. So again, I welcome you guys for being here today. I really appreciate you guys, and I welcome you guys at the same time as well. All right? So let's get after it. And again, once you come on, I will shout you out once you come on the screen here. All right? Now, so in transition news, let's talk March Madness, right? So the participants for this year's Final Four in Indianapolis for the men and the women, the Final Four is set for the women in Phoenix, Arizona. But let's go over the men. The men's side, right? On the men's side, you have in the first semifinal game, you have UConn. Man, we're going to talk about UConn in a second, versus Illinois. And then the second semifinal on the men's side is going to be Arizona against Michigan, right? So that's on the men's side. Now, on the women's side, we got the first semifinal is going to be UCLA against the Lady Texas Longhorns, right? And then before I begin, I'd like to see also, we got Felicia, Mrs. Sweetness, on the check-in from The Rock. Welcome, Felicia. Welcome, 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 Mrs. Sweetness. Here we go. We got a party happening here on Transition Tuesdays. And then the second semifinal is going to be South Carolina, runner-up to last year's championship, against UConn, the winner of last year's championship, the undefeated UConn Lady Huskies. So we're going to talk about that in a sec, okay, those two games. But before those four games, I should say, so before we talk Final Four, let's talk about that epic game between UConn and Duke. We got to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. We got to really talk about that. Man, Braylon Mullins hits a 30 from the logo with 0.4 of a second to really help UConn propel them to a championship. And we got also in the check-in, we got Miss OD on the check-in. Welcome, Miss OD. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, love you too, Miss OD. Love you too. Checking in. There you go. It's always good to check in. Appreciate having you on as well. Man. So yeah, Mullins with the shot, man. With the shot. As Miss OD says, your favorite mother-in-law. Absolutely. No doubt about it. So yeah. So, we have that. We have Mullins with that big time shot. And man, credit to them. They were down 19 points. And I think we witnessed an epic, an instant classic game, man, between Duke and UConn. UConn's down 19. They come back, they roar back, and they take the lead at the very end. And all Duke had to do was just secure the inbounds pass, in which they did, hold on to the ball. They were going to get fouled. Somebody was going to foul them, right? They didn't do it. And again, number two, Boozer makes the errant pass. I knew what he was trying to do. He's trying to get the ball over the two defenders, and the guy would have had a layup, or he just would have dribbled out the clock. So I understood what he was doing, And but they didn't do that, and they got the steal. And let me talk about number 2, Boozer, too, as well, man. You got to give that man a lot of credit, that young man tons of credit, who went to the podium after the game. He took full responsibility. But as we know, those who play sports and play basketball in particular, it never comes down to that one play that you see. Stuff could have took place well ahead in advance, So, but shout out to that man, shout out to that young man who's accountable for his actions, number one. And I think he's going to grow as a person and as a player for this. And you're going to see that Duke basketball brotherhood. They are going to really uplift this kid. So this kid's going to be okay. He's going to be okay, man. So, but again, it was an instant classic. And again, you got to give it up to Danny Hurley. Danny Hurley, man, if you ever saw the reactions from both coaches, but Danny Hurley, did you see what he did afterwards? When give a headbutt to the referee. He was saying that, he thought the referee was coming in for a chest bump, so he gave him a headbutt, in his excitement, which was cool too, man. Some people say he should have got a technical foul. Come on, what are we doing? They can't do that. We got my guy Cliff Moore from Philly is in the building. What's going on, Cliff? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, man, it's gonna be, an epic battle. That was a classic game to get UConn back into the Final Four, and they have an opportunity to win 3 championships in 4 years. 3 championships in 4 years. I would say if they do that, that is a dynasty there in UConn. The women, too. The women have a chance to go back-to-back, right? So let me go back to the Final Four pairings, okay, those games. So again, UConn against Michigan on the men's side. I got Michigan winning that game. Man. No. Pardon me. UConn versus Illinois, right? UConn versus Illinois. I got UConn winning that game against Illinois. And shout out to Orlando Ortega, too, the assistant coach from Illinois with the New York flavor, okay? He's an assistant coach at Illinois, but I think UConn's going to have a little bit too much for Illinois. Illinois has a great European flavor, great mix of young and old as well. So that's going to be a great game. But I think UConn is going to come on top. And then the game that should be the finals, I would say, Arizona versus Michigan. And I think Michigan is going to come on top in a barn burner there. So you're going to have UConn on the men's side versus Michigan. And I think Michigan is going to win the championship. I think he's going to spoil Hurley's bid for a 3rd championship in 4 years. Okay, that's my opinion on that. Mark it up. Check it off. Okay, go back to this video later on and see if I was right. Now, on the women's side, UCLA versus Texas, right? I think UCLA is going to beat Texas. And then South Carolina versus UConn. That's going to be a barn burner. Okay, South Carolina learned a lot from last year. UConn took care of them, right? And I think South Carolina is going to prevail in this game. So you're going to have UCLA versus South Carolina. Dawn Staley, you can't mess with greatness. I think Dawn Staley gets it done, wins the championship she should have won last year. Okay, so I got Michigan winning the national championship, the Natty on the men's side, and I got South Carolina winning the Natty on the women's side. So that's gonna take care of the Final Four. Mark it up, book it. Go to your booking agencies. I don't know, DraftKings, all that stuff like that. Mark it up. I just made you some money. So let's do this, guys, too, before we head on out. Let's transition to Tiger Woods, man. Let's transition to Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger Woods, let me just see if anybody else has come on. Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger Woods was arrested on Friday in Florida after cops said he sped down the street. He clipping a car, and flipped his vehicle over. Tiger was able to climb out of his Range Rover through the passenger window, then took a breathalyzer test in which he blew 0.00, so he wasn't drunk. Okay? And then he decided to turn down a urine test. Okay? Because, he probably thought, he wasn't drunk, but he probably had some medication in his system. So Tiger Woods, when he refused that, he was arrested in jail for 8 hours. Then he got out of the clink and he came out of his own recognizance. So Man, can we say one word for Tiger Woods? Because this has been, I think this is like the third instance that this has happened to Tiger Woods, in terms of a car and flipping over his vehicle. Very dangerous. And speaking of a person who is not dangerous, but I love her too, we got Tanya Crump. TC is in the house. What's going on, TC? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. So, Tiger, one word for Tiger: driver. I think Tiger needs a driver. Tiger shouldn't be driving. And again, maybe Tiger has I don't know, maybe a dependency deal, you know, because when this car flipped over, this was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This wasn't like 2 o'clock at night. You're coming from the club in the morning, you come in from the club or something like that. This is in the broad daylight. And again, I know he has enough money to hire a driver, but, you know, we don't know, man. Is Tiger doing some stuff that he doesn't even want a driver to do? But I'm just imagining a driver is held to, secrecy, probably got to sign an NDA and all type of stuff. But maybe Tiger's doing some old, some stuff he doesn't want anybody to know. So that's why he keeps staying to the wheel. But, no one was hurt, thank God, in the situation. No one was hurt in his other situations too. But one other time, the last time this happened to him, I know he really damaged his leg pretty bad. So, but again, no one was hurt here. But man, Tiger, I think it's time to hire a driver. We need a driver, not a 3-iron, not a 3-wood driver, not a driver for the golf club. No, we need an actual driver to take you to and from where you gotta go, Tiger. Okay. That will be my recommendation to you, Tiger. Absolutely. As Tanya says, hey, TC. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. Hey, look, man, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Celebrate your victory. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, hey, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for you watching Transition Tuesdays each and every Tuesday here. I want to thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't been following me, you can follow me on Instagram at where? Transition Tuesdays. You can follow me there. So if you can follow me on TikTok, where? Transition Tuesdays as well. And also, you can go to our YouTube channel. Guess what? You guessed it. Transition Tuesdays. Please make sure you like and subscribe, okay? Make sure you do that. Shout out to our corporate sponsor, Sweet Candy Cafe, located in the heart of downtown Lumberton, North Carolina. So again, the show's about to end now, guys. No music. I know, no fanfare, but that's okay. But we keep rolling. But again, the show's about to end. But after the show, I want you guys to head to sweetcandycafe.com to order your confectionery goodies. Your taste buds will thank you. I thank you. Mrs. Sweetness, thank you. 13 years in business, going on 14, coming up shortly. Man, we thank you from the bottom of our heart. So thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we say in parting, happy transitioning. We'll speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless. Enjoy the games. Love you guys. Take care.